It's Wednesday, May 24th, 2023. Make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe, and make sure to share all my videos all over your social media. And make sure you share them with all your friends, family, associates. And again, make sure you subscribe and like this video. But let's get right into it. Markets across the board down today. Dow Jones down for the fourth straight day. We're seeing everything just sell off. Stocks, bonds, gold, silver, Bitcoin, everything selling off. So to me, it's a buying opportunity, especially when you see a pullback in the metals like we're seeing. Gold under $2,000 an ounce. To me, it's a buying opportunity. So I made another purchase today. SD Bullion, link down below if you need a place to buy from. I don't care where you buy from. If you buy from a coin dealer, you buy from a coin shop, you buy from anybody you like, I think that this is a nice opportunity to purchase a little bit more precious metal. And I say that also because this article came out today on the hedge. Poland resumes buying gold. The National Bank of Poland added nearly 15 tons of gold to its reserves in April. Poland gold holdings rank as the 22nd largest in the world. Gold makes up 8.5% of the Bank of Poland's total reserves. Do you have gold, ladies and gentlemen? Do you have silver? Again, we're seeing this nice little pullback. I think it's an opportunity. I don't believe that gold is going to stay under $2,000 for very long. And I certainly don't believe that silver is going to stay below below $24 for very long. So take advantage of these pullbacks, because I think the metals are only going to go one way, and that is up, because there is so much uncertainty out there. There is going to be so much competition to the US dollar. And we know that the world reserve currency, the US dollar, is on borrowed time, and the new world reserve currency, or new world reserve currencies, are probably going to partially be backed by gold. So if you need a good place to buy from, SD Bullion, I have a link down below. You can buy from your favorite coin dealer, your favorite precious metals dealer, your favorite pawn shop, whoever you buy from, whoever you trust. I think it's just a great buying opportunity right now. But if you need some help with that, SD Bullion, link down below. CNBC, mortgage demand drops again as rates cross back over 7%. So I would be buying gold and silver right now. I would not be buying a house. That is for sure. Mortgage applications to purchase a home dropped 4% for the week and were 30% lower than the same week a year ago. That is an absolutely astonishing number when you think about it. 30% lower than the week a year ago. Incredible. Don't buy a house right now, ladies and gentlemen. I think you're going to land up regretting it if you do. Applications to refinance a home loan decreased 5% from the previous week and were 44% lower than the same week a year ago. 44% lower than a year ago. If you're in the mortgage industry, I hope you saved up a lot of money. People in the mortgage industry, people in real estate are going to get absolutely demolished here. The average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage is now over 7%. I looked at bankrate.com today. I believe it was 7.06% on a 30-year fix. So you look at what is happening today with uncertainty, with inflation, mortgage rates now over 7%. Real wages down. This is an absolute perfect storm for a housing crash. And people just think it's not going to happen because, well, there's no inventory. Well, there's plenty of new homes being built right now. I think there's 15 million vacant homes in America right now. And there are plenty of people right now in homes that are losing their jobs every day. And we're going to see a lot of inventory. And what we're going to see a loss of is qualified buyers. That's the inventory that's going to shrink, is the qualified buyer. There's going to be less and less people who can, even when prices come down, that are going to be able to qualify for these homes, because you got to have a job, you got to have an income. We're going to see Americans lose a lot of wealth as prices and sales get absolutely punished. So many people over the last couple of years believe they're wealthy because the price of their home went up. They went up based on nothing, based on the Fed inflating this bubble, not based on a booming economy, not based on real wages going up, not based on this explosive job market, because we don't have an explosive job market. We don't have an explosive economy, and we have a very, very weak consumer. And that is going to be a big problem for the housing market. Home prices went up because the Fed created a massive bubble. It's all artificial. It's all an illusion. It's all fake, ladies and gentlemen. And people are going to find out at some point that their homes are not worth what they thought they were. Just like banks now are finding out that those commercial office buildings that they purchased a few years ago, they're finding out they're not worth what they paid for 3 or 4 years ago. And people are going to find out that their homes are not worth what they paid for either, because it was all propped up. It was all artificial. Again, my opinion only. This is the worst possible time to buy a home. This is probably the worst possible time to be in the mortgage industry or the real estate industry. So buyer beware. If you're thinking about selling, you should have done it a long time ago. But if you're thinking about doing it, you should have done it yesterday. I want to share this channel. It's called Everyman Driver. Everyman Driver. This is a YouTube channel, and I was watching this last night, and it was very, very interesting. And it was talking about a truck crisis in America, not big rigs, but pickup trucks, and that there were too many trucks in America and people aren't buying them. And this gentleman is asking, why are people not buying these trucks? Why are these trucks piling up? And if you need a truck, you can find a truck, and nobody can make an excuse and say that they can't buy a truck. The top 4 trucks represent over 140,000 vehicles available. That's 2,800 trucks per state that are available right now. And he gave the top 4 list here. 2023 GMC Sierra 1500. There are 18,226 of these trucks available. 2023 Ram 1500s. There are 27,579 of these pickup trucks available. 2023 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. Right now, currently, 42,421 of these trucks are available. And the 2023 F-150, 53,105 of these trucks are currently available. So there are way too many trucks out there right now. Prices are way too high. Interest rates are going up, and they are going to continue to go up. Gas prices are higher than they were a couple years ago. They can't sell these trucks. And you know what? Less people can qualify now with the rates going up to borrow money to buy a truck. The auto loan, the interest on those auto loans is going up, and a lot of people can't qualify, or a lot of people just cannot make the payment. And so people aren't buying these trucks. They're dealing with real wages going down. They're dealing with inflation. The price of these trucks is way too high. The price to operate these trucks, way too high. Insurance costs have gone up. Everything is so expensive. And so again, you don't have the amount of qualified buyers that can afford to buy these trucks. And certain people are just hanging on to their older trucks and just choosing not to buy because they feel like they're overpaying for these trucks. So what is going to happen? Well, it's the same thing that's going to happen in the housing market. Prices are going to come down as inventory begins to pile up. Prices must come down. There are going to be less and less qualified people who can afford to buy homes, less qualified people who can afford to buy these new trucks. And so very, very interesting channel. Everyman Driver is the name of the channel. Check it out. I thought it was pretty educational, and it's asking a big question. Where are the buyers for all these trucks? Why aren't people buying these trucks? Let me know what you think about that. Comment down below. Here's another one from The Hedge today. Brace for impact. Small business spending suddenly tumbles. First annual drop since January 2021. The strong consumer trend has reversed, ladies and gentlemen. The latest debit and credit card data from Bank of America showed U.S. household spending hit a brick wall, dropping 1.2% for the first time since February of 2021. And we're now starting to see a slide in service spending. So comment down below. Is the economy improving at all where you live? Maybe you live in an area where it's doing quite well. There are exceptions, no doubt about it. But overall, as a country, this economy is in big trouble. Very, very big trouble. And there are certain areas of the country that are doing better than others. But overall, when you look at a country that has we're approaching $32 trillion in debt, $187 trillion of unfunded liability. So it doesn't really matter where you live. If you're living in a small town that's doing well, somewhere in South Dakota, somewhere in Montana, and you're doing well, that's wonderful. But how in the world can this country be doing well when it is completely bankrupt and broke and still lending out money, sending money overseas? I just don't get it. While everything here is completely breaking apart. It's only a matter of time where you live, where you're going to feel the impact of all this, because as a nation, we're in very, very, very big trouble here. The hedge. Unlike Washington, Americans are far from their personal debt ceiling. You know, when you look at this whole thing, the whole thing's a charade. You take the credit cards away from the average household right now, and you would have so many people living on the street, it wouldn't even be funny. No joke. You take the credit cards away right now from the average American, and this thing would look like an apocalyptic movie, without a doubt. It would look much, much different than it does right now. We are seeing more debt, more delinquencies, and more dependency on credit cards. Consumers are going to continue to tap into these credit cards. They're going to continue to run up debt, and they can run up a lot more debt. We're at about $1 trillion in debt, and I think there's about $3.5 trillion of available credit card debt out there available. And so the consumer is going to continue to basically hang themselves because they can continue to borrow money. And I'm sure most of you have probably experienced this every day. I get multiple emails a day for more credit cards, to raise my credit card limit, get additional credit cards. And a lot of people have written me too that these banks want to give them more credit cards and raise the limits. And, you know, there's going to be a time where they cut these limits. But right now, it seems like they're raising these limits, that they're giving the consumer more money to go out and spend and keep this economy going. But what's the end game here? How does this all end when people are losing jobs, when real wages continue to go down, when people can't even pay their utility bills, when people can't go out and buy a pickup truck, and they're continuing to pay their essentials with credit cards, and banks are saying, here, take another card, let me raise your limit so you can continue to spend. What is the end game here? Comment down below. And I want to close with this last article. I was watching, this comes from the US Sun, but I was watching this video, and it came out of Chicago, O'Hare Airport, baggage claim department on Monday night of this week. There were about a dozen people fighting, men, women, knocking people down, punching one another. And I was watching in the background, one dude is fighting a guy, puts him in a headlock, and they go like over the luggage conveyor belt there. And then one of this dude's friends, the guy that's in the headlock, his friend comes over and punches this dude in the face. So now this guy's fighting two people. And again, when I watch these videos, and I'm sure most of you see these daily too on the news, or you watch them on YouTube or on social media, and you're looking at one of the biggest airports in the entire world, and you're watching this melee break out at the baggage terminal. And first off, just watching that guy get jumped by two people tells me you better be using situational awareness. These are situations you want to avoid, but if you encounter something like this and you're in this situation, you've got somebody in a headlock, you better look out for other people. You better look out for their friends. But I watch this stuff and I look at where we're at right now, somewhat of a stable time, right? Things have not gone level 4, code red, whatever you want to call it. We're still somewhat stable. But I watch videos like this, and this is just another example. It's just another one of these videos. There's probably going to be 5 more later on this evening that come out. But what in the world is this all going to look like a year from now? What does this look like if we do not reach an agreement with the debt ceiling? Could you imagine if these government subsidies get cut off, we witness a massive credit crunch, people aren't getting enough food, they're not getting their food stamps. Could you imagine what the melee would really look like. Again, this is just unbelievable. I mean, I grew up in Chicago. I've been to O'Hare Airport many, many times. Never saw anything like this, and now this is just another video, another day, more violence, and it's just it really is shocking where society is going and how society just continues to break down. But this is nothing. This is nothing compared to what you're going to see when the money runs out. If this debt ceiling does not get resolved, this is going to be child's play. This will be a Sunday school picnic compared to what we're going to really see break out on the streets of America. And so, you know, to me, this is another reason, another example of why it's so important to have a skill set, why I think it's very, very important to have some jiu-jitsu training or some MMA training, because you just never know. Maybe you're going to be at the grocery store and something happens. Maybe you're at a restaurant, something happens. You're at a convenience store, the gas station. You're at O'Hare Airport, something happens, and now you're being attacked at a baggage claim for whatever reason. You know, you're going to have to deal with certain situations. This is not going to be the America that we saw 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Things are changing, and people are absolutely out of their minds. And when these services get cut off, and more than likely, I do believe we're gonna resolve the debt ceiling situation. We're going to print more money. We're going to go deeper into debt. And it's just going to put off the inevitable, and it's just going to make things worse, because when things do break apart, when things do burn down, it's going to be much, much worse. The longer we allow this to go on, the worse it's going to be when it breaks apart. So, I mean, we're going to continue to just patch up these inflated balloons with Band-Aids and just keep kicking the can down the road. But inevitably, it's all going to break apart. And when it does, we're going to see things that we never thought humanly possible could take place here in the United States of America. And it's really, really sad to see. And when we really get into a very, very deep depression here, a very, very deep economic depression, it's not going to be the depression of 1929 and the 30s, where people helped one another, where people looked out for one another, where people helped feed one another. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be every man for themselves, and it's going to be people preying on weaker people. It's going to be people taking things from other people, not helping other people. It's going to be people preying on other people, because you look at the stable time we're in right now. Stable. We're going to look back and go, man, these were the good times. If people can behave like this right now, imagine what they are capable of when they're not getting their money, when they're not getting food, when they're angry. It's going to look like Mad Max, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt about it. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Just watch what is happening right now. Look at these people going into stores and just taking whatever they want. They have no care in the world, no respect for law. They don't care. They don't care that they put a business out of business. They don't care that you lose your job. They don't care that they just smashed your window and took everything out of your car. It doesn't matter that your car insurance goes up. It doesn't matter that, you know, you got to now pay for this broken window. It doesn't matter that you don't have a job now. It doesn't matter that everybody's moving out of your city because of the crime. These people don't care. And you're going to be dealing with these people at some point in the future. So make sure you have the skill sets, make sure you have security, make sure you have the mindset, make sure that you're training daily, really, and really walking the walk right now, because this is going to be far from just an economic collapse, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a massive, massive social collapse. And when society collapses, you're going to see incredible violence. You're going to see people take things from other people, and they're just not going to care. These people do this stuff right now for fun and games and entertainment, but it's going to be all business when people get hungry. Then they're going to be real angry, and you're going to have to deal with some very, very angry people. And you're going to have to make sure you protect your assets, your life, your family's life, your house, everything. Because if you think these people are just staying over here or over in this area, or no, they're coming to where you live. They're coming to your neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to come take your stuff. So I hope you're ready for that. I hope you're preparing for that. God bless all of you. Pray for America, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what more to say other than pray for America, because we are past the point of no return. This country needs a major miracle. And at this point, I don't even know if it can be saved. God bless.